How goes the family? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day. Happy Sunday to you. Today's topic is going to be talking about a subject matter that's actually near and dear to my heart because, NFL player Mr. Marshawn Lynch. Because one thing I would like to say is that I usually don't. You don't. Most people that have been a part of the platform, they usually don't hear me talk about many athletes or entertainers unless they are in the process of building businesses or they've built businesses and economic opportunities within the community. Most of the time, when they become very successful people and maybe they help out family members by giving a handout or a hand up. However, like I always say, the only time that you're really going to see me talk about any athletes or entertainers is, when it boils down to the number one word of business. I talked about Mr. Marshawn Lynch, who is from Oakland, California, and is a former Seattle Seahawks football player and NFL Oakland Raiders football player. Okay, so West Coast born, West Coast raised, and definitely West Coast played as far as in the major leagues. But anyways, according to the article that I read today, Mr. Lynch stated, "I'm just here so I don't get fined." Little goofy humor. Or he's, more of a simple answer to most things is just, yeah, because he's just the kind of guy, he's just laid back, very humble, likes to keep things simple. And I'm not mad at that whatsoever. And Lynch, he's actually made it known he's not really big on media attention, especially when it comes to the good things he does in the community, which is, one thing that I can definitely respect because the best good deeds do not have to be broadcasted to the whole freaking world. And a lot of times with social media, everybody thinks that they need to record every single great positive thing that they do. And there's nothing wrong with putting that good positive karma energy out there because you need that because of all, obviously you have a lot of crazy ratchetry that happens and nonsense and ignorance that's posted on social media. So whenever I see something positive, I got to share it, I got to like it, subscribe to it, and I got to talk about it. So Mr. Lynch wasn't, flashy about anything while he was even in the NFL, National Football League. I remember how much respect that I had for him when I found out that he actually saved a majority of his earnings during his NFL career. Okay, instead of splurging and going crazy, he saved a majority up to 80% of his earnings from the NFL and lived off his endorsements and whatnot. So, kept a decent, modest lifestyle. Mr. Lynch invested in a good chunk of his savings into a multitude of new businesses across the Bay Area of California and the Seattle, Washington area as well. Mr. Lynch is the embodiment, and I would say this with a lot of pride, he is the embodiment of saving and investing, family, because that's what it's all about. No matter what status you're at in life, when you do apply those specific principles and continuously educate yourself, just like Mr. Lynch has done, you can do a lot of great things with money. So let's go over the businesses that Mr. Lynch is involved in, because, and if you, like I said, if you don't know, he's from the good old Oakland, California, the Bay Area, one of the most expensive parts of the country to live in the continental United States. So the fact that he's doing this in his hometown and not forgetting about where he came from, like I said, these are reasons why I say he should be commendable. Okay, definitely have a lot of respect. One business that he's very proud of is actually called Family First Foundation. So please look up Family First Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization which was created by Mr. Lynch and his team. They actually give back to the youth of Oakland, California, which is, like I said, it's a great thing. It's a nonprofit, so they really want to help people out because you have a lot of you for the most part you don't have a middle class in the Bay Area of California. Just like for the most part, you don't have much of a middle class in New York City and whatnot either. It's like you're extremely rich or you're very poor. I think, but obviously the Bay Area is way more expensive than New York City. And sometimes it's like, how is it that sustainable? But that's another story for another day. So a great foundation like this that actually helps out people that are in need, because they're known within the area, the foundation's known for, pulling up with their beast mode trucks and giving out tens of thousands of backpacks, school supplies, around the start of the school year, which is, I'm sure, helps out a lot of families tremendously, especially, like I said, given the fact that the Bay Area is one of the most expensive areas in the country to live in. The Family Foundation saves the lives of Black and brown youth on a daily basis and is raising the consciousness of a broken community to become more self-sustaining, more accountable, and less dependent on outer entities, which I can definitely respect that and whatnot. I mean, heck, it's one funny thing. Like if you go to Las Vegas if you go to Houston, Texas, and if you go to Phoenix, Arizona, you will find that a lot of times the Uber drivers that I've met or people that I've met that worked in like the hotels and whatnot, they always told me they were from the Bay Area and whatnot, and they left because it was too expensive. And obviously, they wanted to be middle class and not dirt poor, so they felt like, that they could have a better livelihood living in states where, the cost of living isn't as crazy as it is in the Bay Area, California, and whatnot. So not picking on the Bay Area, California, but if you can't afford to live someplace, people gonna live where they can afford to live. It is what it is. So it's not picking on this specific area. If I can't afford to pay rent or buy a house in a place, then why am I going to live there? Especially when I live in the United States, where I have more options compared to other nations. Anyways, but back to the story at hand. I just thought that was very interesting. Mr. Lynch is also fighting to combat gentrification. This is the first time I actually heard of Marshawn Lynch. This was like a year ago, or 2 years ago. Because he was actually on television, and I read an article about how he was fighting gentrification in his area, but not because he grew up in the Oakland, California area. Because he's doing this by actually purchasing commercial real estate in Oakland downtown area, which he opened his Beast Mode apparel store, which I think is very great. As you see in the pictures and whatnot. Because ownership, that's what it's all about, family. You can't put it any other way. And when you're put in a position to where you can afford to own something of value and whatnot and give back to the community, I think it's a beautiful thing. And people like this should be talked about way more than the politicians and whatnot. You get nothing but respect from me, Mr. Lynch, especially given the fact that this situation reminds me of Nipsey Hussle, God rest his soul, in the South Los Angeles area by purchasing, he purchased commercial real estate store. He had a store, the Marathon Continue store, partnered with people to create schools and whatnot to promote entrepreneurship and STEM research and information technology, hired within his community and investing in the community all at the same time. That's why I had to talk about this, because Nipsey Hussle, every time I go to LA, I have to pay respects to his mural because he was more than just a rapper. He was a great entrepreneur and a person who cared about the community. Same thing like Mr. Marshawn Lynch. He's more than just a football player, and it shows in the businesses that he's actually created, not only for profit, but to actually help his community out all at the same time. So definitely a lot of love and nothing but respect, okay? Also, I love the fact that Mr. Lynch, kind of like Nipsey Hussle did, employs his own family members and friends, which, needs to be the new norm. If you have successful businesses, your people need to come first before anybody else. That's just how everybody else does it, and I'd like to see more of us do that. Mr. Lynch also opened a restaurant named Rob's Bend, which was named after his cousin who unfortunately passed away. And I love the fact that he named something, because the names matter. And a lot of times you see Larry's Anything Goes. That's because my name is in my real estate. Patterson L Properties. That's my last name. My newer company, Patterson Rental Properties. Names matter, and when you put your name out there, it's a beautiful thing. Just like you see Chevron, Shell, Exxon. The list goes on. And I think that's a great thing as well. One great thing that I found out about this article after reading it is that this commercial buildings / business was once owned by African American family. The building at his that's the restaurant that's named after his cousin. So the commercial building that he purchased has been owned by African Americans for the last 2 generations. So and Mr. Lynch is proud to carry on the tradition of Black business / ownership all at the same time. Very love it. Continues to do the good work, sir. I really love it, family. It's all about civil rights in 2021, family, meaning economics, empowerment, buying, selling from each other, investing, putting the information out so others can flourish all at the same time. So we give it hand ups and not handouts. Last but definitely not least, Mr. Lynch opened up another store just a block away, which is known, like I said, he just continuously going, which is known as the Beast Mobile Cellular Communications Store. I believe they utilize Sprint's tower and whatnot, cellular towers, but obviously do your own research on that one. On top of this, the company paired with the Family First Foundation for the Phones for a homeless program. So, and that's the beautiful thing, because this initiative actually offers a free cell phone and service for up to a year in those Oakland homeless communities and whatnot. So like I said, once again, it's giving back to the community. I love it. And like I said, we need to hear more stories about this. That's why I'm talking about it. Even though Mr. Lynch has a multitude of other businesses, including owning a piece of Lyft. If you don't know what Lyft is, it's basically like another version of Uber and whatnot, where you have the sharing economy with people, just like it's a taxi transportation service and whatnot. Lyft actually but it's actually a piece of Lyft that actually supplies scooters around the city of Oakland, California. We need to see more well-to-do people make their profits and yet and still help create economic opportunities within the community. Please keep up the good work, Mr. Lynch. You got nothing but love and respect for me, and you are the embodiment of you can't get fired if you own the company. He left the NFL, now he owns a couple of things. Not just one thing, but a couple of things, and I love it. So keep up the good work, y'all. Do the great 3 free things, family. Like, share, and subscribe. Check out the online stores. Check out the products that we have. It's always greatly appreciated, especially the Cash Apps and the PayPals and all that good stuff. Thank you for the donations to the channel. I always put it back into the business. Larry's Anything Goes. We're still going to keep on moving and pushing. And once the good old FreeBay launches, where you're able to buy cryptocurrency and buy gold and refer others and whatnot, because it's all about being able to build up more social capital and networking and whatnot, because I want to engage with you, and that's why I'm going to be, I'm trying to go live more often, just so that we can engage more and whatnot, because it's not just about me, it's about you. And if you have a channel, let's engage, let's talk, let's chop it up, and have a great day. All right, family? So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. And as always, make money moves. Take care.